SBU TV, see how alcohol-related incidents on campus have decreased and how one soccer player has made it from the benches to the fields. Hello and welcome to SBU TV. I'm Brittany Whalley.
And I'm Tyler Diedrich.
Memorial services will be held on Sunday to remember those who lost their lives on September 11th. Kate Glennon has the story.
This Sunday marks the 10-year anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks. Memorial services will be held to remember those who lost their lives in the World Trade Center, Pentagon, and in the fields of Shanksville, Pennsylvania. St. Bonaventure student Bobby Foti is traveling back to New York City in order to attend a ceremony to honor his late father, firefighter Robert Foti, who lost his life in the World Trade Centers.
This year, instead of going to my dad's firehouse, me and my family are going down to the memorial, and we're going to check that out for the first time in 10 years.
At 11 o'clock on Sunday, a mass will be held outside of Plasman Hall at the September 11th Memorial.
St. Bonaventure's ROTC will also be holding a memorial service.
As far as Sunday goes, the actual day that is 9/11, we have a parade that is starting at Olean Middle School and is going to march all the way down on into the football field, the semi-pro league field right off of 417. There's going to be a color guard. We're going to march with several of our cadets, present the colors, and grant respect to those who have fallen.
For SBU TV, I'm Kate Glennon.
The parade will begin at Olean Middle School at 1 o'clock.
Last week on SBU TV, we told you St. Bonaventure officials questioned the validity of the recent Princeton Review rankings that listed SBU 5th of the list of schools with the most hard liquor. This week, Conor Mooney investigated some student and staff perceptions on the subject.
This year, you know, it's even getting better in terms of the decrease.
He's talking about the decreasing amount of SBU students hospitalized yearly due to alcohol poisoning.
What we've done is tried to educate students, and we've seen a decrease in the number of students that are taken to the hospital because of possible alcohol poisoning and those types of things.
According to Dr. Keener, the university has worked hard the past 5 years to promote student wellness, a project that has produced positive results.
You know, rather than say, you know, we want to stop drinking, what we really want to start is promoting more healthy activities. I think the Richter Center has played a major role in helping promote health and wellness.
So how well have the university's efforts worked?
I think we saw probably a 30% decrease of students hospitalized.
One student even disagreed with the rankings, claiming that SBU's reputation of a hard drinking school seems flawed.
Kids definitely do drink liquor, but I would not say it's accurate at all. I think it's kids having fun. It's college. Everybody's going to drink. So I don't think there's a problem yet.
Some believe that other universities experience more negative effects of alcohol than SBU.
Ohio University last year, and that's way more. I mean, that's number one on the party list, and that's, I think, way worse than what we have here at Bonaventure.
For SBU TV, I'm Conor Mooney.
Students interested in alcohol counseling can visit the Wellness Center that's located on the first floor of Doyle Hall.
The country's oldest student-run soup kitchen will have more than meals to offer its guests come from now on. Mike Vitron has the story.
In addition to serving 12,000 meals annually, the Warming House now offers its guests classes to help better their situations, thanks to the extra space provided by its new facility at 164 North Union Street in Olean. Larry Sorokes, the director of the Center for Community Engagement, said the new facility allows the Warming House to provide the opportunities they wish they had the means of providing years ago.
We have a place for classes, a place for counseling, for small group meetings, and in general just a place of much greater dignity than we ever had before.
Sorokes said the new location allows guests to get a hand up rather than a handout. Warming House Director Nick Goodell said the facility currently offers classes Monday through Thursday in nutrition, addiction, and coping with life's tough situations.
With our new
facility is we're trying to make it more than just a soup kitchen. It's always been known as the Warming House Soup Kitchen, and that name still is relevant, but we're really more focusing on that it's a soup kitchen and a community center for our guests here and for people throughout the community.
Lisa McHone from Cornell Cooperative Extension was on hand yesterday to teach guests how to make a nutritious meal with eggs.
I do is I go out into the community, I do classes or I do home visits, and I help people with cooking. It could be basic cooking, it could be food planning, planning out meals, budgeting. A lot of people who are lower income, they go for the quick fix, the quick, hamburger helper, and my job is to try to help them with a more nutritious meal.
McHone believes the guests are getting something out of her lessons.
And I want to teach them simple things like why. Why you're supposed to have 3 glasses of milk, or why whole grain, and how do you tell a real whole grain, and things like that.
For SBU TV, I'm Mike Vitron.
Those interested in volunteering at the Warming House can sign up at www.thewarminghouse.org.
Coming up on SBU TV, we'll take a look at how the Richter Center is challenging students.
Daddy, why is the sky blue?
Well, to match your pretty eyes.
Nope, not even close. See, all colors have wavelengths that are diffused by oxygen and nitrogen. Since blue is the shortest wavelength, it's diffused up to 10 times more.
Who taught you that?
Mommy?
By age 12, too many girls lose interest in math and science and their chance at future jobs. Keep her interest alive.
Know why mathematics is the basis of life as we know it?
You tell me.
Having difficulties adjusting to life at St. Bonaventure? Having a peer coach can help. Felisha Woolley has the story.
We've Got Your Back is this year's theme for SBU's peer coaching program.
The idea behind peer coaching is that everybody needs to have someone with whom they can connect right away, someone with whom they'll feel comfortable.
This program, designed to help students with their first year experience, has been running since 2009.
My role as a peer coach is to be there for the freshmen when they have any type of questions. I'm there to guide them through their first year experience.
Sophomore Margaret Seitz found peer coaching to be helpful throughout her freshman year.
It's worth your time. You can take an hour out of your day to sit down and talk to someone. My freshman year, I was scared about meeting new friends and meeting new people, and she just made everything so much easier. Come to her about anything, whether it was about school or problems that I was having personally.
Not only has peer coaching impacted those involved in the program, but the actual coaches themselves.
I'm glad that I can help a freshman who's coming in who doesn't have an older brother and sister who's been in college, and I can help them adjust to it and get to know Bonas and the whole college experience, and make them that their freshman year is one that they'll never forget.
For SBU TV, I'm Felisha Woolley.
All freshmen are assigned a peer coach, but they are not obligated to participate in the program.
Students who are looking to challenge themselves physically will now have the opportunity through a new program at St. Bonaventure.
The 2.5-hour weekly cardio challenge begins Monday the 12th, and over 75 students have already signed up.
I thought that signing up for this challenge would make me get out of my bed and go.
This competition is perfect for students who don't think they have enough time to work out.
We think 2.5 hours a week is not a lot of time. It's very doable, and it's a number that most people will look at and say, yeah, I can accomplish that. And, it'll be an attainable goal for them.
If you complete the 2.5 hours per week, you'll be entered into a weekly raffle, including prizes such as iTunes gift cards.
I think it's pretty cool. It's a good way to get people in here to stay in shape. Some incentives with the prizes and stuff. So.
Any type of cardio exercise, including but not limited to walking, biking, running, cross-country skiing, basketball, or swimming counts, whether it's on or off campus. Student Amber Ciesiulka and her friends plan on motivating each other each week.
Days when we don't feel like going, when it's cold outside, and then if you have someone just pushing you, saying, let's just go, you're going to get up and you're going to go.
And their goal?
Kind of just to get in shape and to kind of just live a healthier lifestyle.
At the end of the 10 weeks, the grand prizes are an iPod Touch and a 32-inch TV. But if that isn't enough of an incentive...
I'm doing it, so why don't you?
For SBU TV, I'm Megan Sudore.
Visit the Richter Center for more information or to sign up.
The School of Business is being run by an interim dean this year, not unlike the schools of education and journalism. Michael Colaianni reports.
Following the unexpected passing of Dean John Watson last spring, St. Bonaventure appointed Assistant Professor of Accounting Brian McAllister as the interim dean of the School of Business. With so much transition going on in the business school, McAllister knows that his time spent as interim dean will be important.
There are probably, two major goals, and the first one would be the continuation of of going forward with our AACSB accreditation in the School of Business. I'd also like, in terms of our fundraising activities with regard to our new business building, I'd like to, basically assist in any way possible.
Dean McAllister has twice previously held the position as interim dean during his 34-year tenure at St. Bonaventure University, and he believes that having this previous experience will help him make a smooth transition back to the job.
Well, it's interesting because in many cases, sometimes situations in academia tend to repeat themselves, and while they're not exactly the same, some of the things are very similar in nature, and my previous experiences, will probably hold me in good stead with regard to that.
If completed on time, the new School of Business building should be up and running for the 2013-2014 academic school year. I'm Michael Colaianni, and this is SBU TV.
McAllister's contract runs through the end of the academic year.
Coming up on SBU TV Sports, an alumnus might be one step closer to Canton.
Get up, stand up, jump on my sister, don't give up the fight. We never give up the fight. You gotta let them know how. We never give up the fight. Oh, get up, stand up, what we gonna do? Stand up for a ride. Get up, stand up, oh yeah, don't give up the fight.
The Atlantic 10 this week released the conference schedules for the upcoming men's basketball season.
The St. Bonaventure men's basketball team is gearing up for what looks to be their most anticipated season yet. 10 of their opponents on the schedule released earlier this week reached the postseason last year. The Bonnies will play 3 BCS conference schools. They travel to Blacksburg to face the Hokies November 27th, Illinois on December 7th, and meet NC State and Rochester at Blue Cross Arena on December 20th. Once conference play begins in January, the Riley Center will be home to 8 Atlantic 10 matchups, the toughest test of all coming February 15th against Temple. The regular season will come to a close March 3rd at LaSalle. This year, the Bonnies will have 2 games televised on ESPNU and 4 on CBS Sports Regional. All other home games will be covered by SBU TV Sports. For SBU TV, I'm Shannon Shepard.
The St. Bonaventure men's basketball team is returning 4 of its 5 starters.
St. Bonaventure University hasn't fielded a football team since 1951, but 60 years later, it may soon have a representative in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I took a look at one of Bonaventure's unsung legends. On August 24th, the Pro Football Hall of Fame Seniors Committee named 1951 St. Bonaventure grad Jack Butler one of its 2 finalists for election to the Hall of Fame next summer. He would be the first Bonaventure player ever to be inducted. At the time of Butler's retirement from the NFL in 1959, his 52 career interceptions ranked 2nd all-time. Believe it or not, there used to be a football stadium right here in between Doyle and Hopkins Halls, and before Jack Butler went on to become a star defensive back with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 1950s, he was a star on both sides of the ball here at St. Bonaventure. Butler set an ECAC pass receiving record at Bonaventure in 1950, and made the Bonaventure Athletic Hall of Fame in 1970. Not many people today saw Butler play, but those who did remember his playmaking prowess on the gridiron.
He was a really good tackler. He was what they call a sure tackler. Then he is a hard hitter. As a college player, he was one of Bonaventure's little All-Americans, I guess you would call him.
Butler made 4 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pro teams, the 1950s NFL All-Decade Team, and the Steelers All-Time Team. Given that resume, Whelan believes Butler will get his call to the Hall.
Usually when they nominate someone as a senior nominee, it's I think it's kind of a slam dunk. They're probably going to get in. As someone who actually saw Bonaventure play football, I think he's going to be in there.
For SBU TV, I'm Tyler Diedrich. Butler will learn his fate in February when the Hall of Fame class is announced the day before the Super Bowl.
Sophomore James Reed is making his mark on the men's soccer team. Dan Mitchell reports.
In just one season, St. Bonaventure men's soccer forward James Reed evolved from a walk-on to a starter.
Last year I came in as a walk-on. Coach told me I'd be able to fight for playing time. I never really thought I'd get a full starter's role or even compete for that many minutes, but I was able to show my worth later in the season and earn some credit, and I really feel that it put some weight on my shoulders to make me be a better player.
With 1 goal and 1 assist this season, Reed feels pressure to be a leader.
Obviously, it feels nice to get the first goal earlier this year than last year, and I know I got to take a bigger role on my shoulders this year because we got a lot of young guys coming in. They're not as experienced.
Just a month into the season thus far, teammates are already recognizing the changes in Reed's game.
He's grown tremendously from last year. He's a lot more vocal on the field and plays a much bigger role. I think both in playing time and just his role on the field. So it's really good to have him there. And he's always been very helpful and very kind and down to earth.
For SBU TV, I'm Dan Mitchell.
Reed and the Bonnies are back at 500 after 2 wins last weekend.
The Bonaventure men's and women's soccer teams each have busy weekends ahead on the road. Both teams are in action this afternoon. The men travel to High Point University in North Carolina to take on the Radford Highlanders. The Bonnies enter today's contest with a 2-2 record after defeating UNC Asheville and Florida Atlantic last weekend. This Sunday, the men face High Point before returning home to face Big Four rival Canisius next Friday. The women travel to West Point to face Sacred Heart in the Army Invitational today. The women enter the match 3-2 after beating Binghamton in overtime Sunday. The women play VMI this Sunday afternoon before gearing up for next weekend's Big Four tournament at Niagara.
That's all this week for SBU TV. I'm Brittany Whalley.
And I'm Tyler Diedrich. From all of us here in the Coop Lab, thanks for watching.
You guys can't talk to us while we're doing that.